All right, well, we might as well get started. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon for this webinar on House of Waine in Nairobi. So House of Waine is located in the suburb of Karen in Nairobi. So it's a beautiful leafy suburb. It's really lovely and quiet here. It's a really nice part of Nairobi for people who are maybe wanting something, not too hectic. And the house is set over a garden of about 2.5 acres. So it's in this beautiful sort of green oasis in the city. And people tend to sort of hit Nairobi and then shoot off straight away, and it seems a shame because there is actually so much to do here, and it's a really nice place to sort of spend the night on your way into or way out of Kenya, just to kind of, especially if guests are arriving from a sort of bigger time difference, just to kind of get their feet on the ground and yeah, get onto the time zone for a night or two. And there really is so much to do around, and somewhere like House of Waine is a really nice place to base oneself for all these sort of activities, and also just to chill out. They've got these beautiful big gardens and a pool here, so it is just a really lovely spot to hang out in. So the main house is 11 bedrooms, so 10 rooms plus a suite, and they've also got a 2-bedroom cottage on the property as well. In terms of access, you're about 45 minutes from Nairobi International Airport, and then about a 20-minute drive from Wilson Airport. So really nice, actually. It's not too far for guests if they do have an overnight in Nairobi, and they don't want to stay in a kind of, they've got a few hours and don't want to stay in a sort of airport hotel. So it's as I said, it's really near to some great activities. So you've got the Elephant Orphanage, you've got the Karen Blixen Museum, which is like on their doorstep, because this is sort of the area, as the name sort of suggests. And then the Giraffe Centre as well, and then also the golf club. So if there are any golfers coming out to Nairobi, they have an agreement where the guests of House of Waine can go and play a round of golf at the Golf and Country Club around the corner. So it's just a map of Kenya for you, just to kind of show you where Nairobi is located. It's just down here. So it is where you kind of hub through quite often, especially if you're coming sort of internationally and then heading off elsewhere. So they have a really great day rate. So any guests who are sort of have got a few hours in Nairobi before their flight out, and don't want to be sat in an airport, they can come to House of Waine, check in just for the day. It's $60 for the day, and they get a 3-course lunch or dinner, and use of the facilities as well. So the lovely big pool, so they can relax by the pool, and yeah, just have a few hours to chill out in this beautiful oasis. So the feel of House of Waine is very much home from home. So the family who own it is a family who own it, a Kenyan family, and the name Waine comes from the first letter of each of the children's names. So there's 5 children. It was previously, before it was turned into a hotel, it was actually a home. So it is this beautiful 10-suite home from home, really. And the staff here, many of them have been with the hotel since it opened 15 years ago. And so it really does have that sort of family feel. You feel like you're coming home. You feel very well looked after here. And the staff just, make it feel like you almost better here than at home. I was quite unwell when I routed through Nairobi, and it was really lovely. They just really looked after me, which was so lovely. So anyone who knows House of Waine previously, it has just undergone a soft refurb, or like a full refurbishment inside. And so it is looking, it's just elevated, much more modern, much more contemporary, but it still has that sort of warm heart that it's always had. So you'll notice different features if you've seen the hotel before, that they have just sort of modernized it a little bit. So this is sort of the main entrance and lounge area, and there's a bar as well. And then they've got the restaurant just off this lounge too. And really the gardens are the kind of the star of the show, really, at House of Waine. It is so lovely to just be able to head out into the gardens. If the kids, they can run around, and it is just a really lovely, serene place to stop off. So there is the pool as well, which is just out here. So really great, as I said, if you've got guests who are utilising that day rate, it's a really nice spot to hang out in. And the pool house just here, just behind that, they have changing rooms and showers. So guests who are on the day rate, they can make use of those facilities before they, head off on there, especially if it's an international flight. They can freshen up a little bit before heading on. So the dining here is lovely. The food is really delicious. And again, just really feels like home. It feels very relaxed, especially with the staff. Just make you feel really at ease here. And all the rooms are completely different. So there's, as I said, 10 rooms plus one suite, although all the rooms are really enormous. They're really big and spacious. So they've all got a different kind of look and feel. So you've got Sahara, which is that more sort of desert feeling, Safari. And so they all have a very different sort of interior, but all have that sort of same feeling to them, and all overlooking the gardens. They have these beautiful big windows letting in loads of light, and letting in the greens from the garden outside. So Malaika Suite is the suite. So it's a great big room with a beautiful veranda outside looking out onto the gardens, and it's actually named after their mother, who sadly passed away last year. So she is honoured in the naming of this suite still, which is lovely. And it is really just a lovely big space. And they do also have interleading rooms here, which are fantastic for families. So they've got a couple of interleading rooms, and if guests are travelling in a sort of a multi-generational group or something like that, they can kind of set them off into one side of the hotel because it is so small. They're really, really flexible in that sense. And as you can see, it is just all about those gardens and those beautiful big windows on all the rooms. And anyone who knows a bit of Swahili will know that tembo is a Swahili word for elephant. So this is sort of more those grey tones. And they've all got lovely big spacious bathrooms as well. So it's a really lovely spot to just chill out, especially if you've come to the end of a trip and relaxing before heading home, or obviously just sort of decompressing from maybe quite a long flight. So as you can see here, Kanini and Makan interlead, so they've got the door interleading, so really great for a family there. And then, as I said, they've also got the 2-bedroom cottage. So the 2-bedroom cottage has got one double room and a small single. They've got this lovely big space here, so guests can be sort of quite self-contained here. They can dine here if they wish. So it's really lovely and private, and it's set just sort of in the gardens near the pool. They've got this lovely big fireplace, and so this is the double bedroom. You could pop an extra bed in here for a small child if need be, and then they've also got the extra bedroom. So that is a single room. It's not very big, so I'd say if you've got a family with, say, sort of 3 children maybe, the main hotel is perfect with the interleading rooms. That works really nicely. So this would be better for sort of 1 small child or maybe 2 small children here. And it is just the cottage actually was refurbed before the hotel, and so it's got the same sort of feeling within the hotel that they've sort of brought into the main hotel, and it's just really lovely, really fresh, clean, new interiors. So they also have conference facilities here because they are in the city. They do get some conferences. It is not a huge space, so there's never sort of huge conferences here, so it never kind of interferes with the rest of the hotel, but it is a lovely big room for any sort of corporate conferencing that goes on. And then they've also got this lovely library as well, so just a nice little space to hang out that's sort of away from the main lounge as well. And actually just back there as well, there's a sort of slight hot desking space. So anyone who's kind of working, they have got some space that's not in your room, because sometimes it's not always the nicest to have to work in your bedroom when you're staying in a hotel. So they've got a little space that guests can set up their laptops in as well. And then, as I said, they're really close to so many different activities nearby. There is loads to do in Nairobi. There's great shopping. There's loads of lovely restaurants. And then there's the Daphne Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage, which is just gorgeous, really beautiful baby elephants. It's just so lovely. They've got the elephant, the giraffe sanctuary there as well. And then they've also got the Karen Golf Club just around the corner. So any keen golfers can go and have a round of golf there as well. It's a beautiful setting, as you can see at the top there. It's gorgeous big lawns. And then also really close to the Karen Blixen Museum, being in Karen. So that's about a 2-minute drive away. So all of these activities are kind of within sort of 15-minute drive of the hotel. So it's in a really awesome location for that. But that's the end of the presentation. It's short and sweet with House of Waine. So if anyone's got any questions, please pop them in the Q&A. This webinar has been recorded, so it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and we will send out the recording and any information you need on House of Waine after the fact. Oh, thank you, Sammy, for that. And I don't know why the chat's not working. How strange. Sammy, just because it isn't using, so the day offer is amazing. Just to be clear, that isn't using the rooms. No, it is not using the room. So guests have kind of access to all of the facilities in the hotel. It's not a room rate. They can work out sort of rooms for guests if they're wanting a room for the day, but that amazing day offer of $60 US for the day is sort of using the facilities, using the pool and the restaurant, etc. Thank you for your question, Sammy. Amazing. Fab. Well, if there isn't any more questions, do feel free to send them through via email if you think of anything after the fact. And obviously we will send through all the information you need to start selling House of Waine. And yeah, you can always get a hold of any of us at Small World Marketing via email or on the phone. So please do get in touch. But have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining me.